Hello everybody and welcome back to Timberborn. As always, I am Dor, and today we're going to go ahead and see if we can survive our first drought. We have one coming in 3 days. We've already had 4 of our beavers starve to death because we don't have any food coming in right now. The farm that we do have down is not able to keep up with what we have. I have some berry bushes being planted, but those take 9 days to mature. So we need to go ahead and try and square our food away. If we do end up surviving the drought here, then we need food coming in, because if we don't die from the drought, we're going to die from starvation. So that's my bad. I didn't really pay attention too much to that. So let's try and see if we can square that away. I'm trying to let our beavers over here harvest out the rest of these trees, so that way we can go ahead and clear out the stumps and clear out these bushes here, and then lay out a big farm area on the side of the island here, or the side of the land here, to kind of have a good source of food coming in. We're going to have to go ahead and move our farmhouse a little bit inward here to go ahead and highlight the rest of the coastline here, because right now it's kind of missing a little bit. But once we get these trees done with, we can go ahead and start laying out the farm stuff. Actually, you know what? We might just go ahead and clear the land here instead of waiting for those things to get harvested, because I don't know if we're going to make it to the drought. I think we just had another one die. Yeah, we just had this guy die. Or actually, that might have been the last one that died. But anyways, we can go ahead and clear the trees and the stumps out just by doing this. We can go ahead and highlight that and then go through and do that. That's going to allow us to remove all of the trees and all of the stumps and all of the bushes in this area, so that we can go ahead and place down farmland instead. So we'll go ahead and plop down some carrots. I think we need to remove the trees beforehand. Yeah, we can't highlight through the trees and have them just replace it with farmland, so we have to wait until all of this stuff is gone. I think while we wait for that to happen, let's go ahead and actually run a pathway over to this staircase, because that's going to allow us to go up to this layer, and we have a bunch of berries right there, so we might as well harvest them, so at least we have some source of food coming into the kingdom thing here. So let's go ahead and plop one of the harvesting things on the top of this staircase. Does that highlight all of the berries in that area? It does indeed. Okay, cool. Let's plop that there. And then I think we need a pathway connected into it so that they know to go to it. And I think that should be good. It'll get built in a second, and then hopefully we have these berries coming in. We have 2.6 days until the drought comes in. I don't know what this is going to do, because I mean, if we don't have water hydrating the land here, I don't think we're in that much trouble, because we don't have anything planted yet. We have a little bit of farmland, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm just a little more concerned about whether or not we're going to make it through the first drought, because if we don't make it past the first drought, then we really messed up last episode. Okay, so I went ahead and disabled the power generation and the plank maker, because right now we don't really need any more of those things coming in, and disabled some more stuff as well, just so that we have the freed up people to go ahead and do things. So while we wait for the drought to come in, what I want to go ahead and do is place down some more water tanks, and hopefully that kind of helps us delay maybe dying from not having water. I'm not quite sure here, but let's go ahead and plop one down here. Can we not place one there? Is it too big? Oh, we have the wood thing there. My bad. Let's place some tanks over here then, I guess. We'll place down 2 of them for right now, and hopefully we can fill those up before the timer runs out on the drought thing here, because this guy is kind of quick at filling up the tanks here. So right now we're just kind of burning time, because this thing is full, and we're not really putting any more water in the tank there. So once these 2 get built, hopefully they do that relatively quickly, and then we can go ahead and have more water to go ahead and try and last through the droughts. Hopefully that's the idea here. This guy is doing his job. He is picking up a bunch of berries, so we are doing kind of okay. I don't think we've had anybody starve to death. We did have 2 people born though, or 2 beavers born on day 14, so it's not completely doing us in here by not having food being generated. So we're not doing too bad here if they're still having kids. So hopefully that kind of keeps up and they have more, because I would like to get back to where I was before we had a couple of them die from starvation, but that's going to take a little while for them to go ahead and get things going again. But hopefully these 2 tanks help us. All right, well, we have half a day to go, and this tank is no longer full. It's sitting at 24 out of 30. This guy is only working at a 53% productivity, so that's probably not doing us any favors. And this one just got a little bit of water put in it, so we have, what is that, 29 water going into the drought here in less than a day. So hopefully that's going to be enough. I honestly don't think it's going to be, but we are kind of staying steady right now. We don't have anybody starving to death anymore. The berry guy is kind of coming in clutch right now and keeping people alive when we need them to be. But I think we might lose a little bit of people right now when the drought kicks in. I could be wrong, but I think maybe the water might be doubled or something. I'm not too sure how this is going to work here. Apparently we have 47 water, though. Where's the water coming from? We have 10 there. We have nothing in that one. That's only 30, right? 34? How do we have 47? Oh, you know what it is? This thing has a storage in it as well. So it stores 15 water. Okay, so we do have a little bit of water. I should probably be going off of that thing instead of trying to click on the tanks here to see how much water we have in them. So that's not too bad. We have 44 water. So yeah, it shouldn't be too bad here. Okay, so the drought has officially started. We have 4 days of drought. So hopefully we don't run out of water or it doesn't do anything weird. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but hopefully we can make it through this. We haven't had anybody starve to death. We did just have somebody die of old age, though. So I'd rather have that happening than them starving to death. So I'll take that over starving. No problem there. Oh, look at that. The water is actually receding into... Where's it gonna... Is this a lake? Is it gonna recede all the way to the lake? Or is this thing gonna dry out as well? The water's just chugging along here. Let me put it into fast forward mode here. And it's going to go all the way into this lake. And it's going to stop. Is this also going to evaporate too or no? Doesn't seem like this is going to drop any, but we definitely don't have any water in this area anymore, so our berry bushes are probably not going to grow anymore. Yeah, they're not going to grow anymore, and they'll die in 9.2 days, so that's not good for us. Those ones will die in 8 days. The trees are going to die in 13 days. How about our farm stuff that we have? Less than a day. All of our farm plots are going to die. This one's going to last a day and a day 0.8 at least, the carrots, so it's not too bad for those guys. So maybe we move our base to around the lake, because if this isn't going to dry out during a drought here, then we might want to go ahead and have like farms and stuff around the lake here instead of having it on the river where it might dry out in a couple days there. Like we didn't get any heads up other than we got the 3-day warning or 4-day warning, whatever we had before the drought kicked in. So it might be worth maybe building farms and stuff around this thing. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. Do we have the ability to place a road through that? It looks like we do. Let's see, can we go ahead and go that way? We can indeed. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and drag a road over to there. Oh, look at that. The drought is actually drying out the lake as well. That's not good. Okay, well, that kind of just ruined my plan there to go ahead and build farms over here to kind of avoid having to deal with the drought effects. So that kind of stinks. Okay, so yeah, never mind with the road thing. We're not going to build a farm over there at all since there's no point to it. We have 3 more days of this, and I think it's going to get worse before it gets any better for us. Maybe we can try and delay the drought effects next time we have a drought kick in if we build a dam, maybe? So that way the water doesn't drain as fast? Maybe. But it might not even matter because the lake didn't go anywhere. It didn't like drain through a river. It just evaporated. So maybe there's nothing we can do other than build up a bunch of backlog of water to try and avoid any thirst issues going into a drought like this. We're definitely going to run into food issues again because we don't have any being generated right now. So we might lose a couple people to the effects of the drought right now, but hopefully when it's over we can go ahead and recover from it. Okay, so the drought ended. We only have 6 beavers left and only 5 of those are adults, so only 5 of them can actually work jobs for us. So we definitely need 1 in the water thing. We need 1 farming. So what we need to go ahead and do is drag out a pathway over toward this area because right now the workers in the main building can't actually reach any of this stuff, and I didn't realize it sooner. So they're not actually deleting any of the stuff that we need removed. So we need to go ahead and place a pathway to go ahead and allow them to walk over in that area. So let's go ahead and go to about there, and then we can go ahead and drag this down, and I think that should go ahead and allow them to get to it. They can indeed. Okay, so let's place a little bit more down because they still have a little bit of a blind spot in here to reach, and there we go. That's the entire area highlighted now. So they should be able to go ahead and remove all of the stuff in this area that we don't need. And once all of this is gone, we're going to go ahead and place down the farms, but we're going to go a little heavy on the potatoes because we have this thing that allows us to make the meals so that we get a little bit of the benefit in the stats up here. So we're going to go heavy on potatoes. We're still going to place down carrots and the wheat, but we're going to place down more of the potatoes than we are going to place down on the other stuff. So I think we're actually about to fail because everybody else just died to thirst, and we only have 1 person left. He's over here hanging out in the forestry building, and the water is still not back in the river yet. It's all the way back on the beginning of of the map here going through the river, so it's going to take a little while for it to actually get to us, and I think in that time this guy's actually going to die. So I think we're going to fail, and then we're probably going to have to do this again. I think maybe next time we go ahead and do this, we're going to go ahead and place down more than one of these, so that way in the downtime that the barrel has when this thing is full and it's not filling it up anymore, instead of just having the person working in the building and not moving anything into the barrel and just filling up its inventory and the barrel, and they're both full and just not doing anything, we're going to have multiples of these things down, so that way we can go ahead and hopefully survive the first drought. We're also going to go ahead and maybe actually place down the farm a little bit better right off the bat, instead of doing what we did with just 3 of each crop. That really wasn't enough food being generated to really do anything for our beavers here. And the river is coming along nicely. It's just about to us again. I'm going to put it into fast forward mode here because it's either going to get to us and our guy's going to drink water, or they're dead already. They're actually dead already. I didn't even get the alert that he died. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen now because we don't have any more beavers. So is the game just over, or is there going to be another set of beavers that spawn back in? I'm not sure. We can migrate population. Not really, though, because there's nothing to migrate. Okay, so I'm going to let it run for a second and see if we have more beavers spawn in. If not, we have to go ahead and start the game again. Okay, so we did have to go ahead and restart the game, so hopefully we can go ahead and make it through the drought and make a better stab at it this time around. But I went ahead and laid it out a little bit differently here. We have the science building there. We only have 5 houses down. We only have the 1 lumberjack cutting down the trees. We have 1 of the gatherers gathering up the berries over here. We have the water thing down here producing 3 barrels worth of water for the storage at least. And before we go any further, let's go ahead and lay down the farmhouse. So we'll go ahead and plop it right here. I'm going to have it connected into the road so it at least is connected in. Can we squeeze it here? We can. Look at that. Okay, let's place it there. That way we can go ahead and maximize on the plants here. So let's go ahead and have most of it be potatoes. So we're going to go, how far out does this go? Oh, it doesn't tell me now that I placed it. Okay, I have to wait until it's built. For right now, we'll just go out a couple from the farmhouse then, and we will turn all of this into potatoes, and that should be plenty of potatoes being produced. I don't know how much that is, but it should be a decent amount. We will go ahead and do 3 rows of carrots like that, and then the wheat I'm not too worried about. We'll go 2 of those right now, and we have to wait until the building's done getting built so we can see the radius on it, but hopefully that's going to be within range. Let me go ahead and put everything into fast forward mode again because I want to go ahead and see if we're going to be able to survive the drought or not. I don't want to go through the whole first steps again and end up dying anyways. Okay, so we have the drought coming in 3 days again. I did die again before the drought even came because I didn't put down a berry thing over here to harvest the berries. So I went ahead and moved it over there. We have the berries. We have plenty of food coming in now because I didn't have my farm built. Even though I had it down, they weren't prioritizing it. So I had to go ahead and prioritize it. And now we have a ton of food backlogged to go ahead and hopefully help us. I haven't had anybody starve to death, so we're good there. So technically I've failed the game twice already. All I did was reload the save point where I had this place cleared out already. I just had to place down the farm and stuff again. That's all I had to do, and so far so good. We've been pretty decent right now. I'm gonna see if we make it through the drought though, because I have water down. This one's not getting filled, so I'm guessing we can only have 3 of these kind of supported with 1 of these. It's kind of what I'm thinking here. We have 100 water backlogged. I don't think that's going to be enough water for us. I did, however, unlock the aesthetic thing. So I unlocked bushes, and I can put bushes around. So that gave us the ability to rank up the aesthetic trait over here. So now we have the other difficulty unlocked, which is Iron Teeth, which I don't know how much harder that's going to be. Like, I'm having trouble with this already. I can't imagine how hard that one's going to be. But we're going to go ahead and put this back into fast forward, and I guess I'll see in a second if whether or not we live or not. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. All right, sweet. We made it through the drought. We didn't have anybody die. We had plenty of food to last us through the drought there. We are just about out of water though. We're at 28 water out of the, I think, 100 that we went into the drought with. So we do need the water to go ahead and hurry on up and go down the river here. That'll hopefully get to us before we run out of water though. We just went up in water though. How did we just go up in water if we don't have water near our pump? I don't know how that happened, but we do have water, and hopefully it lasts us until the river gets filled up again and we don't run into any issues. I went ahead and researched these staircases so that we can go ahead and start doubling up on buildings here, but I can't actually put it over the road, so we would need to go ahead and just have like a staircase connecting into each of the buildings here, which I kind of don't like because we can't put a walkway over the top of these. We would have to unlock these guys, I think, to be able to have like a walkway so we don't have to have a bunch of staircases going into each doorway. So I think I'm going to hold off on doing any double story things right now, any two-story things, so that we don't have to have it like that, because we're just going to have to tear it out in the future anyways if we manage to like live through the next drought. One thing I am going to go ahead and do is remove the bushes because I don't think they do anything. They just add aesthetics, and I don't know what that does exactly to the beavers here. And what we're going to go ahead and do is add in a few more tanks. This is 120, that's a 200 research. Okay, so we can't do these ones just yet, but when we do get the research points to go ahead and unlock those, we're going to go ahead and unlock the bigger tanks. But I'm going to go ahead and place a couple more of these around so we can squeeze one in there. I don't think we can place this one here. It's not going to actually connect to the road, so it's not going to do anything for us. And let's see, we'll place another one here and maybe one more. So we'll have 3 more tanks added in. Each one of these holds, what do these hold? These hold 30 apiece. So by the time the next drought comes around, hopefully we have all of these full, and they'll be about, what is it, 220 I think, plus the 15 this thing holds, so 235. Should be more than enough water for us to go ahead and make it through the drought. We did have enough already, so we shouldn't be too far off. Just that as we get more people, we'll have to have more and more water backlogged. And the same thing with the food. We were perfect with the food. We had no issues with the food whatsoever. But as we get more and more beavers, we will have to go ahead and get more and more water backlogged each time a drought rolls around. But I think that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.